Episode 6, Understanding Conversations You Weren't Part of. Welcome back to The Seated Heart, where we get real about communication, respect, and growth. I'm your host, Jerne, and today we're diving into something that we've all experienced. People trying to speak on conversations they weren't even a part of. It's one thing to have an opinion, but to claim you know exactly what someone meant without having been there. That's frustrating and frankly misleading. Speaking on conversations you weren't part of. Have you ever had someone try to interpret or speak on something they weren't even involved in? It's wild, right? When it comes to personal matters, especially when the person involved isn't around to clarify, it's important to recognize our limits. We can't pretend to know all the details when we weren't in the room. It's about respecting the fact that we don't know everything and shouldn't assume we do. The privacy double standard. And then there's the issue of privacy. Isn't it funny how some people who love to share everyone's business suddenly want to call for privacy when it suits them? If you're going to talk about keeping things to yourself, you better make sure you're practicing that same level of discretion. Consistency matters in how we handle sensitive conversations, especially when it comes to respecting other people's boundaries. We all have moments where we want to weigh in on something we weren't directly involved in, but that's where integrity in communication comes into play. It's knowing when to listen rather than speak, and understanding that not every conversation needs our interpretation, especially when we don't have the full story. At the end of the day, respecting the boundaries of conversations we weren't part of is key. And if we're going to talk about privacy, we need to hold ourselves to that same standard. Integrity in communication isn't just about what we say, but also about knowing when to stay silent and respect the privacy of others. Thanks for tuning in to The Seated Heart. Until next time, take care of your heart and keep those boundaries strong.